Hi guys, welcome back to another video in Kyoto. Today we're exploring the Gion District, which is the very old school, traditional Japanese style. That used to be the old town here in Kyoto, and that's also where today you can find a lot of wooden houses and the Geisha district and all that. So I'm very excited about doing some photography here on the streets. Unfortunately, right now it's very windy and it's actually raining. This looks like sunny, but it is pouring rain and I'm stuck under the train station waiting for an opening so I can get out and explore. Alright, looks like the rain finally stopped and now the sun's out. This is crazy. The weather is just all over the place. The weather channel was not saying that it was gonna rain today. We got a little surprise there getting out of the subway, but I think we're gonna have a nice sunny morning. I'm very excited about these pictures because it's gonna be so different from all the styles of photography I've been getting in Tokyo, and yeah, excited to share. I guess we got pretty lucky with the rain because the wetness of the floor really adds to the mood in the scene right now. So I'm really enjoying the wet floors. One thing I haven't mentioned today is that I'm shooting all of my photos and the videos on my Fujifilm X-T4, and I'm using the 16 to 80mm f4 lens. And also I've been sharing on my previous vlogs, sometimes when I share my photos I put the details on the ISO and shutter speed and all that, and you'll notice that most of the time, even when I'm taking photos, the shutter speed is 60 frames per second. And the reason for that is simply because I'm switching from photos to videos all the time, and as I do so, I keep the shutter speed at the same speed between video and photo. For a video, it has to be 60 because it's the right shutter speed for the frame rate I'm using. However, for photos, I know I should have a shutter speed that's a little higher if I want a cleaner image. Since everything is manual, so I'm changing the ISO and changing the shutter speed and changing everything, the aperture, I often keep my shutter speed at 60. I hope this makes sense, but today I'm going to try to make an effort and change the shutter speed as I take photos, and I'll share also in this vlog with all the photos, I'll share all the details of the ISO, shutter speed and aperture. We are literally freezing. I think it's only 5 degrees right now.
Told me not to bring my gloves. My hands are freezing.
Yeah, we should have had gloves, beanies, and scarves and all that. This is not the weather I was expecting today. But anyways, we're freezing and I need to get some coffee. It's very early this morning. We wanted to get a jump start on the day pretty early because today we're taking the Shinkansen back to Tokyo, and then we're gonna get another train to go all the way to Lake Kawaguchiko and see Mount Fuji in the next couple of days. So today's a big day, but I still wanted to come here to the Gion District to do some street photography because I've been in Kyoto for about, I think, 3 days and we still haven't gotten a chance to do this. So first, let's go stop at a coffee shop, and yesterday out of nowhere we came across a chain of coffee shops called Percentage Arabica, which I've heard of and I really wanted to try it, and we did. And there was a line. I think there was about 20 to 30 people waiting in line to get coffee in the middle of the day. And I was like, you know what? I want to try this. And if there's a line, it's a good sign, right? Well, believe me, it really was great coffee, and I understand why there would be a line. There is a percent Arabica coffee here in Gion somewhere. I think we have to walk about 15 minutes to get there, but we're heading there right now, and then we'll go back out and shoot more after the coffee. Alright, we're back in the smaller streets looking for that coffee shop. It's way nicer. We were on the main boulevard thing over there, and it was very loud and lots of cars and not much to see or photograph. But now we're back in the small tiny streets, and I gotta say, way more inspiring so far. I like it. One thing about coming here super early is that the streets are totally empty. There is no life. Every store is closed. There's barely any people walking. So on one hand, it's great because we get to see it empty and completely like deserted. Or you could see that as a curse in a sense where you don't see the life. You don't see how the neighborhood is feeling, especially probably in the evening, because there's tons of restaurants here and tons of like cool places to go out and have drinks. Also, one thing what this neighborhood is famous for is the geisha bars. I guess there's traditional geisha shows and dinners and stuff like that you could do here, so obviously that's a great reason to come and visit. This coffee is probably the best coffee I've tasted in Japan. Japan is great at making black coffee, but it's kind of hard to find like a good latte or a latte drink, stuff like that. But this is really good. Definitely recommend if you're in Japan and you're in a big town and you have percent Arabica coffee shops around you, go and try it out because it's delicious. Alright, so we just checked, and Percent Arabica is actually a guy from Tokyo opened the coffee shop, and he actually traveled the world and lived in the US a bit, and he opened his first coffee shop in 2014 in Kyoto here, and he has I think 4 in Japan right now, and if you're lucky enough, I don't know, in Toronto in Canada they have one in New York, they have 3 in London, so if you're in any of those areas, you could try it out. How great is that? Also, right by the coffee shop is this super cool pagoda sitting right there, right behind us. And I love that street because you keep seeing women dressed in like traditional Japanese attire, and they're walking up to the pagoda. This looks very, very scenic, so I highly recommend this street. I'm gonna get the name of that street and I'm gonna tell you so you can come here and actually experience this. Alright, it's called Hoshinocho Street. Hoshinocho? Hoshinocho? So if you walk right and you go behind the pagoda and you keep walking up, there's actually a hill that goes behind, and you can see like a little bit of views on Kyoto, and you have the pagoda standing out. So it's really, really cool, and the houses are all traditional wooden houses. Loving it. Alright, I guess now we're still walking around the Gion streets, but there's a famous market that's very close to here called Nishiki Market, which I do want to see and explore before we leave the town, so I'm gonna look where it's at and we're gonna head there now. On a lot of these little streets here in the Gion District, there's a no photo sign because they're like private properties. So I guess, yeah, you just have to respect that when you see it and not take photos. Now I've got to go sit on the side and try it. Steaming hot. Oh yeah. This has potato curry and onion. Alright guys, I'm gonna close my video here. I hope you guys enjoyed coming with me to Kyoto, exploring the Gion District. It was very, very challenging today to take some street photography for many reasons, but number one, the cold. I don't do well with the cold, and it was really, really cold and windy, and then also rain a little bit. And yeah, but I still enjoyed it. We're rushed by time right now. We have to go catch our Shinkansen back to Tokyo. We're in a bit of a rush, so I'm gonna leave you guys here. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to catch more videos on Japan and photography all over the world. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers!